I gave her a quart of Budweiser, like I gave anyone else in the audience, so they could enjoy themselves. And she saw where I was coming from, and that I was more than just a technologist, a writer, and because I had to write some of those scripts over there from time to time, or an editor, or a transcriber. She saw me as a person, and she allowed me to live. And in order to live, you got paychecks, man. MTV wasn't poor, you know. We were paid well, and then we got unemployment, and so that's the scam. Because of my grandmother, my mother, and Mary Ellis, I'm alive right now, and then you can see two of them over my shoulder, my mom and grandmother. But the irony is, I'm meant to be here. I've been brought back. That's the only thing I can see. And I'm hoping it's for Steinberg. Because what keeps me going was in 1968, my buddy that I just met in high school, the outcast Scott Newman, Paul Newman's only son, was thrown into a public school, North Hollywood High, and he drove me home to the mansion. So he opened the front door. It looked like the White House. The ceiling was painted like the Vatican, and the walls were coated with Paul's art collection, Grillos, Picassos, Rembrandts, and Steuben's. And coming down the stairwell is his wife, Joanne Woodward, drunk as a skunk down the marble stairwell with the marble beneath her and the brass railings, and she's holding in her right hand a martini glass, her left hand a shaker. She downs the glass, refills it, and downs it again, looks at me and Scott standing in the door. I'm this long-haired hippie with hair down to my tits, wearing garage sale clothes. I was proud to buy a pair of Levi's for $1. And I'm standing there, and she goes, Scott, why did you bring a lowlifer home? And that one sentence has made me be who I am, why I came back from the dead, and why I've done everything. Written, directed, acted, made movies. I never made it big. The point of this business isn't to be a small fry. It's to be a movie star. So the only way that I can beat her is to become a movie star. And we can do that overnight digitally. Right here, right now. It'll have a digital audience. It could go huge. You know, the bottom line is we got to think big and use our digital assets to become something. And that's why I'm making my 5th installment of Steinberg, a vertical. And like Fellini said, he said, it's easier to go to the moon than it is to make a movie. Well, it's easier to go to Mars than it is to make a vertical movie. Okay? Because making that skinny little vertical, 16 by 9, is a bitch. And how to find your castmates and putting together people that are good at comedy, etc. And I got off on this adventure, and it's still going. And the universe said one thing: you need a movie star in this pro bono to help you. I don't mean a wannabe movie star. I don't mean a hopeful movie star. I either need a has-been TV star or a superstar that's a real star to give me 8 lines. Because a real vertical is a 1-page script, and it's a soap opera with a twist. So I put the twist on Steinberg as he's such a bad comic, they put together a $150,000 price on his head, so the first person who kills him gets the dough. Well, I thought of killing myself, but how could I spend the money? So that's the line, you know, where I play Steinberg, and I bounce around with characters because we have that Saturday Night Live upbringing. All of us, everyone in this has been brought up by Saturday Night Live, which means you can do your own thing, and that's partly why reality TV is so well done. But reality is dying, music is dying, everything is dying and becoming this weird little thing where you get it on the YouTube or you get it on something like that. You see what I'm saying?
TikTok, Instagram, vertical. vertical cinema. Yeah,
there's no attention. We got to find a way to market things. So I'm going to be marketing my project somewhere and put a price on it. I think.
So speaking about that, with vertical cinema, and I can't help but think about the short attention span that the newer generation has. What kind of length are we talking about with this feature that you're working on?
Whatever it ends up like, it's pushing 40 minutes now. If I could get a movie star tomorrow that's still breathing, then I could finish it up and get it out pronto. It'll be the length it ends up, that the universe makes it. And the funny part is, will I live to get it made? Because during the process of making it, I've just been told that I'm absolutely dying right now with congestive heart failure, right now, today. That's why I walk these hills, to try to beat the rap. And here's something else. Anybody else on Medicare here? Maybe some of the viewers. Suddenly, I ended up where my insurance eliminated all my doctors. I had a heart doctor that had a plan to save me and keep me alive. I had a doctor that operated on my heart to put a filter through my heart to keep me alive. And I had a dermatologist that found bad cancers on me, that she sliced off part of my earlobe, part of the back of my head, and always frying me and burning me and freezing me. They cut out all my doctors. Suddenly, I have no doctors left except a podiatrist, and I can't see him or any doctor unless I get a special request from my general practitioner. So suddenly a guy that's staying alive by 7 or 8 major specialists has no one. They pulled the plug on my existence. That's for 2026. Kaputski. So I'm fighting that at the same time. That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen, where they pulled the plug on my ability to live.
Well, that's been happening to a lot of people. A friend of mine's wife she's got cancer, and all the treatments were going, and then the doctor said, "Hey, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I can't treat you anymore. She didn't qualify. Whatever it was, it got cut out like abruptly, and it's like
she's got to go to get another specialist now, right in the middle of her.
Yeah.
Her the guy that's saving her life. If that would have happened to me on the prostate cancer, God knows. Because on that, you go every day and they put you into this apparatus and they turn you all around, upside down, in and out, and they're firing beam, 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 beam.
Hey, Steve, hold that thought, because we have about 5 minutes and Zoom is going to shut down, and we're going to take a 10-minute break, and you'll get a second link which will help us finish off your interview. So we'll have a 10-minute break, and it'll shut down in about 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Yeah. And and while we got this 5 minutes, I didn't have everybody introduce themselves. Phil, go ahead and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Phil DeSaro, been working in IT for 30-something years. I've done 2 documentaries, won a bunch of film festivals. One of the documentaries was in PBS nationally for 2 years. But the hardest part about that was raising the $30,000 for the insurance policy, which was, like you said, they're always fighting you. So, published 2 books. Always been trying, but I no longer live in California, so now it's even harder because I'm in Florida and I'm constantly. So that's me.
And Steve, Paul Dale Roberts, I'm an author. I got several books out there. I write for some paranormal magazines. I've been on a lot of documentaries, and basically that's me. And now I'm going to put it to Paranormal Soul Brother.
I'm just a lost soul in this sea of paranormal. I am nothing. I couldn't even tell you what it is, but I do, when I hear stuff and stories inspirational people. That's basically what keeps me going. So what else can I say? I'm paranormal soul, brother.
And
He was on WKRP in Cincinnati.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I did do some episodes in WKRP. I did play a punk kid from the
Troubled
Cincinnati
youth.
Projects. But I wonder why they had me steal something. They said, "Oh no, you can play a redeemable character," and I was like, "Redeemable? What the hell is that?" You got me stealing something, but it worked out fine. It was cool.
Yep. Yeah, and that's our claim to fame. So anyway, and if you ever watch like Ghost Adventures and Penn and Teller's bullshit, I've been on those shows.
Oh,
Steve, I'm born on Albert Einstein's birthday, but I'm dumb as an ox, though. So
Is that
My
February?
brother's February 2nd, though. He's Aquarius like you, man. That's
Yeah.
one thing I'm saying.
I'm the 14th.
That's I
If I
can
make
stand.
it.
I can stand. I wish you happy birthday. If I don't.
Oh
get a
yeah,
chance to talk to you.
happy birthday, Steve. And
Bye,
Steve,
Bray.
I'm 71. I'm retired, and I'm on Medicare.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to do.
I'm the old one.
Steve,
76.
it seems like just yesterday I was like in my 20s and I was disco dancing.
Now you gotta be disco leaning on things with a cane.
Steve, when you talked about like just stopping eating, like just having discipline, few people have that type of drive. And I was thinking when you said that, I was watching some show where a man he got involved with this young girl, and he was in his 70s, and she had got him smoking cocaine and everything. And they said, "Well, how did you stop?" He said, "Well, you know what? I just stopped." And the thing of it was, it's like I just can't do it